Hey, how are you? I am Chris Robin, aka at Detroit Beastie, here with Fantasy Six Pack to talk about Sunday Night Football. It's an NFC East clash. Two of the better teams in not only the NFC but the entire NFL are going to clash here tonight. The Eagles fly a little bit southwest to Dallas to take on the Cowboys. This one kicks off at 8:20 p.m. Before I get into the over/under, some point spreads, and a final score that's going to blow your mind, and the ending that I think is going to be shocking and send us all home, tired and hungover in a way. That's up to you. Is going to be shocking, but it's going to be a good one. Before I do that, make sure you go to the website, fantasysixpack.net. When you get there, tell them Beastie sent you. And right now, you can use promo code FFPlayoffs. You get 25% off any premium package that you want. And this is the website you want in on if you're getting into the seasonal fantasy playoffs, because they're world-renowned rankings, top 5, top 10, and the list goes on and on. If you're out of the fantasy playoffs already and you're just looking for some DFS advice, some sports betting stuff, you got me, Dave, Keith, even Alan. We're doing everything here, and you can get all of us anytime at the Discord. All you got to do is use FF Playoffs to get 25% off. Now, let's talk about this football game, shall we? As I said, the 10-2 Eagles go to Dallas to take on the Cowboys, who are also 9-3. This one is going to be, Dallas is going to be rocking. Jared Roll's going to be nuts, and we saw Carr, the older Carr, say, you know what, Jalen Hurts, they need to play Marcus Mariota, right? Jalen Hurts doesn't look comfortable in the pocket. He's not good. He did all his, razzle-dazzles running the football and, pitching it to Swift. That guy's, I don't even know what to say. Again, he's on a massive network, and I'm here recording a video for Sunday Night Football in my basement offense. So you see where that goes. But Jalen Hurts is going to, why even bother saying that? Mariota is nice in little spots. We saw that he couldn't do it as a quarterback one in Tennessee. This is Jalen Hurts' team. Already got him to a Super Bowl. Why are we talking about this? When you look at Jalen Hurts right off the bat, the Cowboys, 15th overall against opposing quarterbacks. Hurts, 16 grand on FanDuel, 11 grand on DK, 40 bucks on Yahoo, 24 to 25 completions, around 265 to 270 yards. I have him 3 touchdowns, 2 in the air, 1 on the ground to go along with 9 to 10 carries for 35 to 40 yards. So Jalen Hurts will get it done. And again, this time on Monday, what are all the pundits and the broadcasters going to say if Philadelphia wins and Hurts actually puts up 3 touchdowns, or realistically puts the Eagles over the edge to beat Dallas? We shall see. When we look at Dak Prescott, that he's a polarizing guy as well. He's got that that Man of the Year logo on there. He's playing at an MVP caliber rate, right? We've seen him and Dallas are in talks for a contract extension. Shohei Ohtani just signed in Dallas for in LA for $700 million. And I go, one doesn't have anything to do with the other one here, but contract extensions for quarterbacks can get nuts and can get wild. And again, whether you love him or hate him, the Cowboys or Dak, the guy has been awesome and fantastic this season. Only thing that matters to me is tonight in Philadelphia, 31st overall against opposing quarterbacks. So we can look at Dak for 25 to 26 completions, over 300 yards. And I have Dak 3 total touchdown passes as well. Can he get to that 4th one on the ground? So we're talking, if you're already like, what are we doing? You got Jalen for 3 total touchdowns. You got Dak for 3 to 4. What's the final score going to be? 75 to 74? It's going to be close, and we're going to keep it moving. When we look at the running backs here, realistically, it's all about Swift for the Eagles in their backfield. But I will caution some folks. Again, is this a concern of mine? Not necessarily, but we saw him take that hit very hard last week, and it was just boom right to the face mask, and it didn't knock him silly. He was not concussed. He did not come out of the game. But again, like any human being would, he was like, oof, I need to catch my breath. I don't know what, I know what happened, but I need to chill for a minute. Swift, 11-5 on FanDuel, 7-4 on DK. Dallas Cowboys, 5th overall against opposing running backs. But Swift is kind of a jack of all trades. He's a running back, but they swing him out as a wide receiver as well. So I have Swift, 11 to 12 carries, 45 to 50 yards, and 3 to 4 receptions for another 25 to 30 yards. Kenny Gainwell, Boston Scott. I mean, Boston Scott probably will not even be a factor here, but Gainwell, 3 to 4 carries, 2 to 3 receptions. He's going to be involved somewhat. When we look at the Cowboys running backs here, this is going to be a tough task, right? Because the Philadelphia Eagles right now first overall against opposing running backs here. Their defensive line is stout. It's nasty. And Ndamukong Suh is looking to make a comeback, and he says, if I do sign, it's going to be with Philadelphia. The maniac, Darius Leonard, is going to be active in this game somehow, some way. So again, Tony Pollard to me is not worth the risk. He's 11 grand on FanDuel, 8 grand on DK, 15 to 16 carries, 65 to 70 yards, and 3 to 4 receptions for another 30 yards. So you're thinking, well, 90 to 100 all-purpose yards. Does he find the end zone somehow? It's tough sledding with any running backs that are playing against Philadelphia. But to be fair, if you wanted to, again, Rico Dowdle's going to be active. But what I was getting at is Tony Pollard, his ownership percentage is going to be high, and rightfully so. But if we want to dodge some of that stuff, that ownership percentage stuff, in one of those $150 max GPPs, Rico Dowdle would be that way, because he's found a way to find the end zone multiple times this year. 7 grand on FanDuel, only 3 grand on DK. When we look at the wide receivers, it's AJ Brown and it's Devonta Smith, aka Skinny Batman. First time I heard that was last week. I believe Travis Kelce and Jason Kelce, they have a broadcast, and Travis referred to Devonta Smith as Skinny Batman. I found it that was very funny. That was great. But when you look at AJ Brown, guy's a monster. 14.4 yards a reception, 13.5 on FanDuel, 10.2 on DK, 10-11 targets, 7-8 receptions, 100 yards, and a touchdown. Devonta Smith, 12 grand on FanDuel, 8.4 on DK, 8 to 9 targets, 5 to 6 touchdowns, 65 to 70 yards. Skinny Batman averaging 13 yards even per reception. AJ Brown, Devonta Smith, that pair together, that combo can wreak havoc for the Dallas Cowboys secondary. A few weeks ago, the Dallas Cowboys secondary was we're good. We got Diggs and Bland. Bland set the NFL history record with most pick 6 returns, and then in the week after, or the week previously, they got absolutely burned. And again, that's the give and take of a secondary that plays like that. They're very good and they take risks, and sometimes those risks get exposed and you get burned, and that's the move here. So to me, AJ Brown and Devonta Smith, very much a possibility, not even a possibility, are a must for me in my lineups. When we look at the Cowboys wide receivers, holy smokes, hallelujah. I said, Philly's first against defending running backs. They're dead last against defending wide receivers. So Lamb and Cooks, even Jalen Tolbert and Michael Gallup are in play. Let's start with CeeDee Lamb, 14 grand on FanDuel, 11.2 on DK, 11 to 12 targets, 8-9 receptions, 100 yards and a touchdown is an absolute lock for CeeDee Lamb, averaging 13.1 yards a reception. Brandon Cooks has started to find his form thanks to the DAC or the offense, however they're calling the plays. So give me Brandon Cooks as well, 5 to 6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, looking at around 45 to 50 yards. You wanted to get around the bend, right? I said Rico Dowdle. Put in Jalen Tolbert. Normally Tolbert's the guy returning kicks or punts, and I hate to use the term gadgety kind of guy, but Tolbert can actually, just cut up some yardage, right? And just, bank that kind of stuff. And Tolbert, 2 to 3 targets, 2 to 3 receptions, maybe a carry or two. So Tolbert can be a guy in this game against the 32nd overall ranked defense to really get things moving, get things done. What are the chances Tolbert finds the end zone on some sort of reverse or a pitch or a screen pass, and then boom, it's accounted to Dak Prescott as well. So don't look past a guy like Tolbert. When we look at the tight ends, we're coming up on around 9 minutes in the video, trying to keep it. The sweet spot is 10 to 12 minutes. So thanks for playing along and hanging out with me as we talk Sunday Night Football. Philly at Dallas is going to be fantastic. Dallas Goedert finally back again. If I'm not mistaken, he broke his forearm or his wrist, and he is going to be active tonight. And again, a studly veteran. Is there some rust to shake off? Sure, but that's what is there for practice. But again, the real life game speed is you can't replicate that in practice. So Goddard in this one, 5 to 6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 55 to 60 yards. I love it. And the Cowboys right now, 13th overall against opposing tight ends. And when you look at this Dallas defense, they're going to have all they can handle with Brown and skinny Batman and Swift, excuse me, that maybe Goddard finds a reception or two, over the defense where he gets one of those, like a whoop over the linebacker, and it's 30, 40 yards on one reception. That would be fantastic. And I'm not projecting that, but I could see that happening. When we look at the Cowboys tight ends, Jake Ferguson or Luke Schoonemaker, it's one or two. I would like to play Jake Ferguson just because of the usage here. 5 to 6 targets, 4 to 5 receptions, 40 to 45 yards. Philly, 26th overall against opposing tight ends. When we look at the DSTs, 3 negative games and 3 negative points, spreads, right, for the Philadelphia Eagles. 3 negative games their last 5 weeks, while the Cowboys are absolutely making history as they're scoring points at home. That doesn't bode well for the Philadelphia Eagles defense. So therefore, I'm out on the Philadelphia Eagles DST. The Cowboys, right, they're top 3. Are they the first overall scoring DST? I'd have to double check that, but I know they're close here. But the Philadelphia Eagles can put up points in a hurry. But again, I know it's not about points scored. It's about sacks and interceptions and fumble recovery. So again, you could say Philadelphia is in play. I just don't want anything to do with them. You could say Dallas is in play as well. I have them 2 to 3 sacks and an interception. Same thing with Philadelphia, but I just don't think there's enough there for either DST when we have this. If you could see what I'm looking at, which I will show you my notepad, there's just too much else going on offensively where I'm going to leave the DSTs, off to the side here. Maybe plug one in if I got a couple extra bucks. When we look at the kickers here, Jake Elliott, Brandon Aubrey, I have both guys 3 for 3 extra points. Jake Elliott 2 for 2 field goals, and Brandon Aubrey, the Dallas kicker, I have him 2 for 3 field goals. This game ends on a last second when Brandon Aubrey misses a late field goal that would win it for Dallas. Instead, his missed field goal gives the Philadelphia Eagles the win, and they do that 28 to 27 by 1 point on Sunday Night Football. So hopefully we stay up late and we can watch this game because it's going to be fantastic. Few recent betting trends and we'll get out of here. Philadelphia 5-3-2 against the spread their last 10 games. The over is 5-5 their last 10 games. And when you look at Dallas, 6-4 against the spread their last 10, and the over is 7-3 in the Cowboys' last 10 games. Give me the Philadelphia Eagles and the points, plus 3.5 to win this game outright. So anytime you can get the team that's going to win outright plus points, I'm taking it. Philadelphia Eagles win this game 28 to 27. Be good, be safe, and I will see you again tomorrow. We got a Monday Night Football doubleheader. Bye-bye.